On your cue. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Open Mic. I hope you guys enjoyed the previous episode, our episode last week, the pilot episode wherein we talked about the examination. So I hope you guys are doing well in your homes right now after everything that we've been through in the past week. I hope this podcast finds you well. So, hindi na ako magpapatumpik-tumpik pa. I-introduce ko na kayo. I will now introduce you to my very respectable co-hosts for tonight. So, I'm sure you guys are very excited to see them live here on Open Mic, streaming from the Lourdes Loop page. So, let me introduce to you my co-hosts for tonight. From the Lourdes Loop, we have Master Julio Padilla. And from the student government, the Vice President of Junior High School, Master Sean Christoph Namit. Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sir Mike.
Good evening po, sir.
Kumusta kayo? Kumusta kayo?
Okay naman po, sir, despite everything that's happened. Medyo, in a way, nakaka-keep up na ulit and nakaka-start na ulit from where we left off before everything happened, sir.
All right, that's good. And how about you, Sean? Hailing from Davao. Ayan, very nationwide ng natin, ang coverage ng Open Mic. Nakakaabot na tayo ng Davao. Kumusta dyan?
Okay lang naman po, sir, and I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Gusto ko yung happy to be here. Kasi siguro naman nabalitaan mo yung typhoon that hit Luzon. Kumusta naman ang Davao during that time?
Sir, nung pinaulanan po kayo ng typhoon, we experienced earthquake naman here. And yun, parang dumating siya doon at the time na naliligo pa po ako, sir. So, ayun, medyo natakot rin ako. We have the same vibes lang.
Habang naliligo ka, lumilindol.
Yeah.
So, hindi ka naman nagpanic during that time?
Sir, hindi naman po. I thought lang na nahilo ako.
Yung pala, lumilindol na.
Opo.
Anong intensity during that time sa Davao?
Sir, I was not really sure pero sinabi po na around 6 raw.
Malakas.
Opo.
Wala namang damage? Wala namang casualties?
Wala naman po.
That's good. Sa inyo, Julio, with the typhoon, do you have any concerns, damages? Nawalan din ba kayo ng kuryente?
Sa kuryente po nawala kami. But sir, luckily sa Kapitolyo po kasi medyo steep po yung road. Pababa po siya. And wala naman po kami sa baba. So, yung flooding, it didn't affect us that much. Pero when it comes to the power outages, ganun, naapektuhan kami very much. Kasi, yun nga, hindi din naman kasi makokontrol. And kahit na wala masyadong damages dito, yung Meralco, they had to make different changes sa circuit para maka-adjust for the other communities din na nawalan.
Sa inyo, Sean, may mga internet outages, power?
At some point, meron din po. But it
Mga gano'ng katagal yung at some point?
Siguro hindi po pala, almost 1 day. Wala pong internet.
Almost 1 day.
Opo.
Pero kuryente, hindi naman nawalan?
Hindi naman po.
I see. That's good. So kayo bang dalawa nanood ng episode 1 last week? Anong masasabi nyo?
Of course. Support, sir.
Yan. Kayo, Julio?
Yes, sir. Na-entertain po ako sa usapan yun ni Ervic po, sir.
Yan. So para i-encourage yun namang manood yung mga viewers natin ng mga susunod pang episode ng Open Mic.
Of course, yun guys, especially kung Lourdesians kayo, manood kayo ng Lourdes Loop kasi kaya siya open mic kasi lahat talaga nabibigyan ng chance na makapag-voice out dito. And not only that, you guys can comment if baka gusto nyo maging guest dito. We're open to that din naman. Or you can also tag us sa different social media pages like Instagram, sa stories, Facebook. Kayo bahala. Basta show some love and masaya naman talaga yung mga usapan namin dito. Promise namin na hindi kayo mabubore.
Sean, meron bang engagement mamaya sa comment section? May mga isa-shoutout ba tayo?
Meron naman, sir. Mag-shoutout kami ng ibang mga nagko-comments, and at the same time, syempre yung mga sharers, mga loyal sharers natin, sir. We give appreciation.
All right. And also, with regards to our topic for tonight, if you're going to, we encourage you to share your own stories about the topic so that we can read them on air. So we have the production team on standby to read the comments on our comment section down below. All right. So without further ado, gentlemen, tonight, ano bang pag-uusapan natin? What's our topic for tonight? Sean, ikaw, ano masasabi mo? Anong topic natin for tonight?
So our topic for tonight is all about PETA Week.
Mm-hmm. What about PETA Week?
So PETA Week, whenever I hear this group of words, I usually think about my life ending.
Bakit naman?
Sir, hindi lang academics yung pinoproblema ko. I also have problems with my life, 'di ba? Parang off-school activities rin. So, parang naghahalo-halo siya.
So, napaka-busy naman palang tao ni Sean. So, speaking of busy, I'm sure you guys were busy also this past few weeks na habang ginagawa nyo rin yung PETA ay with the organizations you guys are affiliated with. You've been busy din. Julio, what has the loop been
For
up
the loop,
to
if you guys will
this
see,
past
nag-post
week?
kami last week ng second edition survival tips na feature si Master Lomo, which discussed the application called Kami. Sabi na not Kame, not Kung daw, basta Kami daw. It's an application daw for school-related papers, and it's actually also compatible with different programs that are surely familiar to us, such as Schoology, Google Docs, and Microsoft Word.
All right, so mukhang that will be helpful with our online schooling. Sean, how about the student government? What has the SG been up to these past few weeks?
So, sir, we had the induction of the student government. We also had the dialogue with the administrators. And we also have an ongoing partnership with Tulay Lingap for relief operations for the typhoon victims.
Ayan, so ibig sabihin, both the Loop and SG has been very busy and will be very busy in this coming days. So I'm sure you guys are managing your time efforts and energies para mapagsabay-sabayan lahat in the service of our brother Lourdesians. Yan. So going back to PETA Week, Julio, ikaw, ano mga memories mo with PETA Week? Sabi ni Sean, he feels that his life is ending already when it comes to PETA Week. How about you? What are your experiences about it?
For PETA Week, mostly, I think nagbibigay naman ng time yung teachers sa pagpapagawa ng PETA, pero sa akin kasi I'm kind of a procrastinator in a way. So pag PETA Week, parang get yourself together na. You gotta do it na kasi hindi rin naman ako yung tipong ayaw rin masyado nagsasubmit ng late. So pagdating ng PETA Week, I really try to keep my focus on what has to be done para after, relax na ulit after na.
Mm-hmm.
Yun na naman po, sir.
Ikaw, Sean, aside from what you've mentioned earlier, ganun ka rin ba? May mga related kang experiences?
Sir, since strict yung parents ko,
wow.
Need ko po talagang gawin ahead of time yung activities. But hindi rin naman po may iwasan na, do your petas before, one day before the submission because of other activities rin. So, yes, it's normal na for Lourdesians.
Okay, so mukhang marami nga tayong pag-uusapan, marami tayong pagkwekwentuhan tonight. So, my dear co-hosts, syempre hindi lang kayo yung mag-share din tonight. We have our guests na in-invite natin for tonight's episode. So, I will now let you guys introduce our guests for tonight.
So from grade 7, St. Francis Mary, we have Master Cleon Gabriel Josana. And from the grade 9 batch, we have Master Renz Sibal. And lastly, we have from grade 11, Blessed Assembly of Manila from the senior high school, we have Nikolo Torres.
Okay, welcome to Open Mic, Cleon, Renz, and Nikolo. Welcome, welcome. So meron tayong representative from junior high, meron din tayong representative from senior high. So I feel that we're going to have a very interesting discussion for tonight. But before we go deeper into that, kumustahin muna natin yung mga guests natin. Cleon, how are you doing?
I'm fine po, and yeah, I'm fine po.
How have you been this past week?
Nung last week po ata, we had no electricity for almost a day, but after that po, our situation went back to normal na po. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Renz? How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Really
How
happy
have
ako
you been this past week?
There were quite a bit of submissions for that part, so medyo hassle. But it's the weekend now, and I'm enjoying, so I'm good about that.
Okay. Ay, may guest pa nga palang isa pa. O nga pala, Nikolo.
Di, okay lang, sir. I understand. Well, anyways, question mo.
Wala pang tanong.
Fine. Oh,
So how have you been this past week? Sige na.
I'm cool. I'm staying fit. I'm fine. I'm happy. Yun lang naman. Next
Cleon,
question.
meron ka bang gustong batiin sa mga kaklase mo?
I would like to shout out my section, grade 7, St. Francis Mary of Camparoso, and my friends. I hope you're all fine. And
I-mention mo sila. I-mention? Sige, okay lang. How about you, Renz? Sinong gusto mong i-shout out?
Yung mga nambubuhat sa akin at mga kabuhat ko sa project.
Mm-hmm. Gusto mo ba silang pangalanan?
Alam na po nila kung sino sila.
Okay. Nikolo. Sige.
Sir, ano ba yan? Ang bully naman ito. May listahan pa ako. Wait lang. This might take a while. So, gusto ko lang mention si Master Gian, Kasim Siman, and Paolo Kaluwag. Yung mga among us crewmates ko later on. I would like to mention you guys. Vitro, Jose, yung buong klase ng Blessed Jose Maria, Lyle Keeling, of course, Cedric De Vera, and okay, yun lang yata. Yep, that's all.
Haba naman pala. So, itag mo sila sa baba para makita nila at makapag-shoutout din sila from you.
Got it.
Makita ng buong class. Ayan. Ask them to share our show for tonight. So now let's start the discussion. Sean, ano ba mga gusto nating malaman sa ating mga guests?
Hi, sir.
Yes, Sean. Galaw-galaw tayo, Sean.
Opo. Hello.
Sir Julio.
So we would like to know, for the first main topic, what do you mostly prefer? Individual petas or group petas? Medyo feeling ko kasi malaki talaga yung audience, malaki yung division ng audience dito sa topic na to eh. So, Sir Mike, sa mga experience mo po ba dati as a student, what did you prefer po?
Ako, I prefer siguro, individual. Individual ba? I think individual PETA.
Bakit, sir?
Kasi minsan, real talk, kapag nag-group PETA, minsan kasi hindi productive. Pupunta sa isang bahay para gagawa ng PETA, gagawa ng project, and it turns out mas marami pa yung ilalaro, mas marami pa yung kwentuhan, mas marami pa yung kainan, kaysa dun sa actual na output. So it becomes unproductive. At least kung individual, I mean, hawak ko yung oras ko, hawak ko yung output ko, the quality of my output is my own. I don't have to worry about freeloaders. I don't have to worry about group mates. So if I will be choosing, I mean, which I would prefer, individual. Although both has its perks, pero mas feeling ko productive ako pag individual. Kayo ba?
Actually, sir, ako, when it comes to PETAs, more on individual din. Pero not in the same perspective po na pinakita niya. Sa akin po kasi parang ayoko nang may madamay pa sa kung ano man yung magawa kong output. Like, especially pagka yung mga naging groupmates ko very, as in achievers po talaga. Parang ayoko po makadisappoint masyado. So for me, pag individual po siya, parang bumagsak man ako dito or malito. At least ako lang, parang ganun po. Ikaw ba, Sean?
Para maiba, group PETA. For me, we become more productive and sumasalingot sa basta yun.
Sabi mo yung word.
Ayoko. Basta yun. Sumasalungat. Ayun. Yan. Sumasalungat siya doon sa sinabi ni Sir kanina. And pag group, parang more ideas will be put doon sa table and hindi malilimit yung creativity mo. That's all.
Okay, tanungin naman natin yung mga audience natin. Unahin na natin si Nikolo, nakakahiya naman. Pinaunlakan niya tayo eh.
What? Alright, so yung question kanina, individual PETA or group work, for sure, naman ako, I would choose the group PETA since unang-una nga, I agree with Master Namit, yung creative side ng working together with other people. Tsaka, in my personal naman experience, I'd rather group works talaga kasi it's much, hindi siya boring, you know. Kasi when I'm doing things myself, yun lang, I have only myself to see the progress in what I've been putting in dun sa output ko. So, I would rather do it with someone else, like with people.
Okay, how about you, Renz?
Sir, nakikisa ako sa mga mas gusto ko yung individual. Kasi po, ganun yung ko po, for some, like for Nikolo and for Sean, mas maraming ideas daw po, diba? Pero for me, I feel like yung mga ideas na yon mas na-express ko sometimes sa individual PETA. So, yun.
How about you, Cleon? Yes, Cleon. Ayan.
Personally, I prefer individual PETAs because doing it on my own gives me the freedom to choose my own style, and it makes it easier and faster to finish the task because I control my own time and pace, and it makes me more productive in doing the PETA. So I personally choose individual.
Okay, parang kung magsalita si Cleon, no, ang dami ng
very formal, sir.
Yes. Considering na siya yung pinakabata, at least experience natin sa paggawa ng PETA ngayong episode na to. But since we're on the topic of individual and group PETA, na-experience yun na ba maging leader ng group PETA?
Yes, sir. Actually, ako po. Na-experience ko na po yun and doon ko po na-realize na role player lang po talaga ako. Hindi po ako masyado hands-on kasi and more on the parang pag binigyan lang po yun po yung gagawin.
So you feel that you're more of a team player, ganun, rather than a leader?
Not team player pero in a way na hindi po ako yung orchestrate na lahat ng mga nangyayari.
Wow,
parang lang, tiga-sunod lang, ganun po.
Okay. How about you, Sean? Siguro ikaw madalas ka nagiging leader.
Opo. Most napipilitan.
Napipilitan.
As the leader, yung pressure nasa iyo lahat and parang ikaw rin yung mamomroblema sa tasks or mga ano po tawag dyan, yung contributions ng members mo. So, yun lang.
How about you, Renz?
Madalas po sa totoo lang,
Mhm.
nagiging group leader ako. And actually, merong isang project sa grade 9 na naging hindi ako group leader. Napansin ko po, it's more on doing talaga kapag group member ka, and kapag group leader ka, talagang kakausapin mo po yung mga groupmate mo, i-message mo sila, at saka iisipin mo po ba paano ba i-connect sila lahat.
Okay, para syempre your common goal naman is the best output that you can possibly produce. Diba? How about you, Cleon?
Nung nasa grade school pa po ako, lagi, hindi po naman lagi, pero mostly po na ako po yung group leader as like the others. It's a bit challenging, pero I try my best to be productive and patient kasi mga iba pong, because some of my members are sometimes not cooperating, but I try to be patient, but at the end of the day, we have accomplished something that we could be proud of.
Okay, thank you, Cleon. How about you, Nikolo?
Wait lang before I start. Pa-shoutout muna kay Vincent Largo. Okay. So, yeah, I've been a leader a few times, pero I'm proud of it naman, and I'm happy na some my group mates rely on me. Pero there are times na I regret it lang, especially when it comes to outputs na yun nga, disappointment yung yung result. So, that being said, yes, I've been a leader and I like being a leader.
Okay, so nandun na rin tayo sa issue ng leadership, ng group works. Anong mas gusto niyong groupings? Random or by friends?
By friends, sir. By friends.
Bakit?
Actually, it has its advantages and disadvantages siguro in a way. Pero pag by friends kasi usually parang mas kilala mo na yung each person kung ano kaya nila gawin. So, it's usually easier than to distribute. If ever mapunta yung role mo as a leader, it's easier to distribute the tasks kasi alam mo na kung saan mag-excel to, saan siya mag-excel. Tas it just usually also results to better output, sir.
Okay, so parang
Yes,
you play
sir.
by each other's strengths. Yeah.
I agree by friends kasi mas familiar ka na po dun sa mga taong pipiliin mo, and parang ma-visualize nyo na po kung yung magiging possible outputs nyo.
O, Nikolo, ikaw?
Actually, I'm more into random since naniniwala ako dun sa hierarchy na nangyayari sa klase minsan. I mean, it's
May
literally
hierarchy?
real. Kahit di natin gusto makita yun, it's still there. And ayoko man sabihin, pero there are times talaga na may nare-left out kapag by friends. And ayoko rin nakikita kasi na-awkward ako. I'm not good with those kind of stuff. And I'd really much prefer na random kasi wala na eh. That's it. That's your group once you're chosen. So yeah.
How about you, Renz?
For me, it would be to chosen members ko. Kasi personally, hindi ako na-awkward sa magiging ko. And mas comfortable ako na mangulit po sa kanila.
Mm-hmm. So mas comfortable ka na sa kanila. How about you, Cleon?
I like or I prefer
With your which would you prefer?
By friends po, because I'm more comfortable with working with them because I know them better, and Also, it will make the project making more productive it will because you know comfortable na po yung mga kinakausap mo, you know them well, and you know what you will expect.
So I found like parang an arising issue in a way or like aspects sa pag-ask ng mga questions na to. I noticed na madami nag-mention ng mga freeloaders. Tama ba? Kayo ba personally, how do you deal with freeloaders? And by the way, besides us who are answering here, yung mga nasa audience, feel free to comment then your suggestions and opinions sa comment section ng live. Thank you.
So how do you guys deal with freeloaders? Since most of you guys here now have already experienced being leaders or have experienced this kind of members. Yan. Pero bago
Sir,
natin i-address yung freeloaders, ano ba muna yung freeloaders, Sean?
Sir, I was about to ask you, but based
Ikaw
on
na lang
the
sumagot.
based on the context, I think yun yung mga walang tawag niya mga pabuhat. Yan po ba yan?
Dumbbell. Yan, yung mga pabuhat, freeloaders, yung sabi nung iba, mga walang ambag, sa mga group works. Yan. How do you guys deal with those kinds of classmates?
Sir, ako po binubuhat na lang po. And since
Okay.
nire-report ko po yun sa teacher kasi for me nakakainis po talaga yan. Ba't ka ba nandito sa grupo namin kung di ka tutulong?
Mhm.
Ikaw ba,
Nikolo.
Julio?
Si Nikolo muna. Parang may sasabihin kasi siya. Nag-react kasi siya eh.
Okay po.
Titig sa akin, Sir Lagi, no ba yun? Anyways, freeloaders. In my case naman, if ever naging leader ako tapos napansin ko na itong student na pala ito is known for freeloading, ginagawa ko sa para siyang process. Ginagawa kong parang i-feel yung konsensya. Like, kunwari, natapos natin yung output na to. Tapos if ever, naging grupo natin siya ulit, para siyang sasabihin ko na, guys, I want the same kind of standard dun sa output natin last. So, yun, nag-build up na yung konsensya niya. Tapos, nag-feel ko naman dito sa batch ko na we're starting to become mature. Tsaka nakikita na namin yung what's wrong and bad. And we're starting to do the initiative naman to do what's right. So, yeah. In my case, automatic na yan.
So before I ask the others, Nikolo, nag-freeload ka na ba ever?
Never.
Okay.
Bro.
Good answer.
I know.
How about you, Renz? Hindi yung nag-freeload ka na. I mean, how do you deal with freeloaders as a leader?
Well, paniniwala ko po na gusto ko talagang lahat may maambag kasi siyempre group work gusto ko may feeling of accomplishment po kaming lahat. So, sabihin na po natin ako yung tipong matyaga pagdating sa mga situation na ganun po.
Mm-hmm. Very patient, sabi mo nga kanina.
So, madalas ako mag-message, hinihintay ko silang, halimbawa kapag may role po, hinihintay ko silang, gusto mo bang gawin to? Para meron po silang choice.
Okay, that's being proactive. That's a good suggestion. At least sila yung pumili nun, ginusto nila yon, so they better act on it.
Pero siyempre, pumipili pa rin ako mga part na gusto ko.
Syempre, kung leader ka, may say ka na dun. Ikaw, first dibs on roles, first dibs on tasks. How about you, Cleon? Even with during your grade school years, naka-experience ka na ba ng mga ganong klaseng member sa group?
Opo. Nung mga leader po ako sa mga group projects po, there's always at least one freeloader in my group. I try to be patient and tinatry ko pong I will give them a role so that all of my group members, including me, has participation, and in the end, we will have a pretty good score for the project. And yeah, I try to be patient with freeloaders if I'm a leader in my group.
That's good. So from what I've heard, from you guys, consolidating everything with PETAs kasi, with your projects, more than just the technical skills that your subject aims to teach, more than the competencies, it also teaches us how to be a leader. Diba? Yung leadership skills natin, what kind of leader can we be? What is our style in order for us to achieve our common goal, which is naman an excellent PETA? Ano bang style? Patient ba tayo? Tayo ba yung nagde-delegate ng tasks? Tayo ba yung tipong nangungulit ng members? And on the other hand, it also exercises for us to become cooperative. Diba? It already becomes a training ground for us on how we can interact with people, be adaptable to our surroundings, because we can't always choose the people we work with. Do you agree? There are times na we don't have the power over that, pero we get to adjust. We learn how to adjust based on the trainings that these PETAs, especially if group, tend to teach us, tend to practice in us. So before we move to the next questions, Julio, magbabasa na ba tayo ng mga comments sa baba? Let's
yes, sir.
recognize by mga stories ba dyan?
As of now, nasa comments pa lang ako. We got viewers, sila Dagudag, sila Largo po, Barcelino. Yung iba rin na friends ko, nag-comment din sila dito, so I'll give a shout out to them. First kay Donnie, na wala ngayon, get well soon bro. Kila Landa, and kila Joshua po.
Sean, anong meron dyan sa comment section?
Sir, sabi dito ni Ryan Philip Santos, Christoph, can I have durian? Yes, for a price. Yun, shoutout na rin sa'yo and sa whole SG fam. Shoutout kay Khalil, kay Ron Yonko, yan, my dude. Pati na rin kay Marcos Godoy and kay Luis Barcelino.
Ayan, so make sure you guys keep on sharing and engaging sa ating comment section so that more people can interact with us. Our discussion is very informative. Napaka-bibo ng ating mga guests tonight. Dami nilang nasa-share sa atin. So, keep on liking, keep on sharing, keep on engaging. Right, so let's move on. So, sabi ko nga kanina, si Cleon yung pinakabata sa atin ngayon. Meron akong special question para kay Cleon. Cleon, so far, what has been the difference between PETA making sa high school and PETA making sa grade school?
In grade school, mas in a way madali because it's simpler. Yung process po ng PETA making or project making. Kasi po sa grade school, we don't call it PETA. We more call it project. So back then in grade school, it's pretty easy. But now in high school, I wasn't expecting that ganito pa talaga mahirap. But I try to do my best in making my PETA so that I could have excellent scores and grades. And yeah. So grade school medyo simpler. It's more easy. It's easier. But sa high school, it's a little bit more complex. But I try my best to accomplish it.
Okay, thank you. So, simpler daw before. Ngayon, medyo mas nagiging challenging. O, tanongin naman natin si Nikolo. Nikolo, difference naman ng junior high sa senior high.
I wonder. Kasi I experienced senior high in a different manner. Hindi ko alam kung same experience ko siya nung di pa online class. Yun nga, the standard senior high school school experience rather than staying at home for almost half a year. So hindi ko talaga ma-differentiate. It's almost the same actually, junior high and senior high, except of course dun sa lessons and of course yung sa outputs na kailangan namin i-bigay standards. So yun lang.
Ayan. So, ang ngayon naman, special question din kay Julio
Ano po yun,
naman.
sir?
Tanungin din natin si Julio. Anong difference ng PETA making before in the face-to-face scenario and now online? Kasi ikaw medyo mas experienced ka na pagdating dyan.
When it comes to that, I think mas naapektuhan yung group petas. Individual medyo okay lang naman kasi yun nga, you just need yourself para magawa and you can do it at home, you can do it in school. Pero when it comes to group petas, I think in a way mas humirap siya na nag-start yung pandemic and naging online classes. Kasi for example, group projects, dati you can just meet up, ganun, shoot kayo ng video, ganyan. I think bumigat siya for the editors ng petas kasi now ang dami ng mga yung mga videos namin, like for us sa grade 12, madami kaming videos na kailangan nandun lahat ng members sa video na as in nakikita sila. So may mga split screen, ganyan. It becomes a little more hectic for the editor in a way. Kasi kailangan niya maka-find ng way, and for the group, maka-find ng concept na magkakaiwalay tayo, pero paano natin gagawin yung PETA na nandun tayo lahat, makikita lahat ng contributions natin. I think more on sa group works lang naman talaga.
Okay. Para ma-balance pa din yung yung efforts, yung contributions.
Yes, sir.
Without compromising the output. Yan. Renz, question. Ano yung mga difficulties na na-encounter mo ngayong online classes as far as PETA making is concerned? Renz, nakamute ka.
Sir, paulit po yung tanong.
Ayan. Again, what difficulties have you encountered during the online classes as far as PETA making is concerned? And how were you able to address those?
Iyan ako na rin sa individual and group kasi I think mas madali doon. Pagdating sa individual, nagbago yung mga yung mga output itself, more on dumami yung lalo na yung video making, dumami yun. So so nagsimula akong gumamit ng mas marami pang online, yung mga photo P, yung mga Canva na gamit ko recently. Tapos nagkaroon na ako ng mas reliable na video editor po. Pagdating naman po sa group project, humirap yung same with Kuya Julio. Humirap po yung communication between group members. Ang main form of communication namin is ay magiging messenger na po talaga. May gagawa ng bagong group chat. Dami-dami nang nagsa-stock na group chat. Tapos so what I try is gawa as soon as possible as I can remember, gawa ka ng group chat. Tapos dahil conflicting talaga yung mga schedule sarili-sarili ng schedule, try at least pag-usapan na lang muna ng voice call for one session. So yun,
at least mas nakaka-contribute kayo kung nakakapag-usap through voice muna. Okay, that's a good suggestion. Kung hindi talaga magtugma yung mga schedule. Kasi syempre lahat busy. Siguro si Sean, dahil sabi niya kanina, busy siya. Isa siya sa mga mahirap kontakin ng mga groupmates niya. Or baka nasa ibang time zone siya sa Davao. Ang tagal-tagal sumagot. Ikaw naman, Nikolo, ano mga na-encounter mong difficulties so far with making PETAs online?
Of course, unang-una is communication. It's really different than physical. Mas prefer ko talaga physical kasi when I'm directing something, I'd rather talaga face-to-face kasi mas nako-convey ko yung ideas ko and yun nga, I can see their faces, kung ano yung reaction nila talaga. And I can get my answer from that. And if I'm going to differentiate it dun sa online class itself, yun nga, minsan di siya consistent rin. Kasi communication nga, there are factors rin, kagaya ng Wi-Fi, na minsan hindi sila available. Kaya, nawawalan din kami minsan ng, ano bang tawag doon? Let's just say, nawawala kami ng gana minsan kasi may isa sa amin na kulang. And then, the next day na naman kami mag-schedule hanggang mag-procrastinate na kami hanggang dumating na yung deadline. So, yun na naman yata yung problems ko. Other than that, time allotted by some of the teachers. I mean, feeling ko nung first weeks yata, nag-adjust palang naman sila. So, yun nga, it's ano na rin naman, it's na-experience namin kung gaano kahirap talaga mag-adjust rin with them since we're both ano rin naman, trying to cope up with the changes. Pero other than that, right now, feeling ko they've become more considerate na with the time allotted. Pero
You're welcome.
I mean, kasi yun naman per dev. I think per dev is so good. Yeah, per dev, oh yeah, epic.
Makapagsila ka kasi parang hindi mo ko teacher.
Mamaya na ka tayo mention, sir. You have your time. Next.
All right. Ngayon naman, I have a question for all of you guys, even the hosts, my co-hosts. What's the most memorable PETA you've done in your whole high school life? Yung hindi nyo makakalimutan for whatever reason, for whatever experience. Sige, Sean.
Ano sir, yung math PETA namin nung grade 8 kami last year. Si Renz po yung groupmate ko nun. So that PETA was we had to compose a song consisting of the lessons from mathematics. So doon po kami nahirapan and mabuti na lang po na pwede kang pumili ng classmates mo. So yun, prioritize ko si Renz. Ayan. Kasi magaling siya gumawa ng lyrics and masarap rin pakinggan yung boses niya pag kumakanta. And yun sir, we ended up getting the first place. So worth it yung sacrifices namin ng time.
Nice. So may specific criteria sa pagpili ng members, no talaga? How about you, Cleon? Any memorable PETAs in the past?
Nung first quarter po, one day, ginagawa ko po yung FTC ko po for that day po. And then, naalala ko po na meron pala akong isa pang PETA na hindi ko pa nagagawa. And the thing about the PETA is, the due date is tomorrow. So, I decided that within the day, I will submit it. And then, I worked on the PETA until 12 midnight. And then, I submitted it at 1. From that experience, I try to avoid that from happening again by making sure that all of my assignments, including the PETA, have been already submitted. And now I know how to manage my time properly.
Good start. Keep it up. How about you, Nikolo? Memorable PETA?
There's the recent one, tsaka yung the most memorable talaga. What do you want to hear?
Isa lang naman tanong ko, yung most memorable lang.
Okay. Feeling ko yung most memorable talaga is the one ng grade 8, grade 9. It's a CLED PETA. Oh my gosh. I'm starting to regret it now. I don't want to say it. Pero we're tasked to make a skit of a certain lesson sa CLED. And we happened to be assigned sa more of the sexual thingy. Basta it was something about sex. And we did this scene, the shadow. Wait. Okay. Basta, we made something. We made the scene. We made it. We did it. No, nothing happened. Walang nangyari. Pero, yeah, I'm kidding myself right now. Okay. Shadow. Basta may shadow effects.
Okay, we get it. Move on. Sige, proceed. Yes. We get it.
Oh, God. Basically, yun yung nangyari.
Kasi because of what you did, it became memorable.
Tsaka, sir, may isa pa pala. pumunta kami sa bahay ng dude na yun and then we recorded there. Yun yung parents niya. Narinig ng, oh my gosh. May sound effects kasi, sir. And the parents was there, tapos yun, stuff happened and I regret it na. That's all.
So ngayon siguro ang iniisip ko sana mataas yung grade niya sa PETA na yun.
Actually, super taas, sir. Pero something happened rin na masama. I don't know if feeling ko confidential siya, pero napagalitan si Sir Patak dahil din sa PETA na yun.
So Renz, ikaw, anong memorable experience mo? Renz, please proceed.
Okay, my turn. Well, yung sa mga grade 7 and 8, wala since grade 9 ako, may lumipas na oras. Hindi ko na talaga ganong ma-appreciate as something memorable. So kung titignan natin yung sa grade 9 ko, nagustuhan ko po yung yung urban planting na sa science. Pinagtanim po kami sa bahay. Tapos pipili kami ng paano namin i-present. Is it infographic? Is it going to be a e-portfolio? So ang ginawa ko, risky talaga na choice, which is a vlog. Ngayon po, may konting trauma ako sa vlog making nung early high school. Pero
siguro involved siya doon.
Hindi po niya alam yun eh. So, ayun. Pero when I did it, I found na ang dali magano ng vlog pa lang, mag-put together ng video na ganon. So, na-enjoy ko yun. Ayun, because of na-overcome ko yung vlog making trauma ko.
Tapos ngayong new normal, karamihan na ng ng PETA, yan nga, videos, vlogging, mga ganyan, online content.
Kaya po magdudula-dulan ka sa video.
Right. So now before we proceed to the next question, basa muna tayo ng shoutouts, basa ng comments. Julio, kumusta ang ating comment section down below?
Sir, meron po tayo dito si Master Lex Catalan, pa-washout daw. Hindi ko alam. Shoutout siguro dapat yan. Pero washout daw eh. Meron din tayong mga nakikitang conversations in the comment section. Kila Reverend Jimboy, Barcelona Dagudag, mga kayo na pa nanonood. And we would just also want to say thank you kasi right now we have 28 total shares, sir. So,
nice.
We appreciate that. Thank you for the support.
Keep viewing, keep sharing, keep watching. Sean, ikaw, ano pa nakikita mo dyan sa comment section na kanina ka pa nagbabasa kaya hindi ka sumasagot sa akin pag nagtatanong ako?
Sir, yun nga po, sabi ni Julio kanina na may nag-uusap sa comments. So, na-entertain ako, so I got lost in the moment. So, anyway, shoutout kay Sir Jardin, kay Gabi, tapos kay Enzo Martinez. Ayan, sama ko na rin ulit si Lex Catalan.
Alright.
Yun lang.
So, moving on to our next question, siguro, with the PETA making, in creating your PETAs, in creating your projects, syempre iba-iba yan. Iba-iba ng skills involved, iba-iba ng competencies that you need to exercise. Meron ba kayong PETAng ginawa in the past that made you discover something in yourself na kaya ko palang gawin yun? Parang interesting pala tong gawin. Pag natutunan ko pala to, enjoyable pala siya. Yung kumbaga, it ushered a discovery in yourself, a self-discovery or a self-realization. Cleon, ikaw?
The realization or the thing that I found in myself while doing PETA is video editing, because kasi po before in grade school hindi po videos yung mga projects po na output. It's more on presentations, drawing, illustrations, ganun po. It's not video or digital. But then came this pandemic, and then we're quarantined for almost half a year, and then online classes came. Mas naging digital po yung mga outputs na kailangan gawin. And before school started, I helped my mom in edit her experiment videos because she is a science teacher, and I edited her experiment videos for her students. And then I realized that video editing is actually good. It's good for me because I like every day I use my computer, and I also like video editing because I can use this when I grow up if my job requires video editing and that. Yeah.
Nice. So shout out natin si Miss Cathy Josana, ang mommy ni Cleon. Ngayon alam na namin kung sino gumagawa at nag-edit ng mga experiment videos mo. Thank you, Cleon, for helping mommy with her videos. How about you, Renz? Any PETA that you think made you discover anything in yourself?
Well, ayun, yung isa, yung kanina, yung ano pa rin, yung yung isa, yung vlogging, mga ganun po. Nagkar ko yun. And then, meron, pwede bang realization about some information?
Yes,
Yun po to eh. Kasi we have our very recent math project about family heritage. So kasi dati hindi ako ganong doon. Mahirap ako sa pagdating sa pangalan ng iba, pagdating sa extended family na malayo na na pangalan. But then come this project, biglang since kailangan ng magtanong sa parents. So nagkwento sila bigla ng ng mga information tungkol sa mga naging trabaho, mga lupa. So bigla akong na-interest.
Mm-hmm.
So from that I've become more accepting of na marami talaga kaming minimit na family members, mga ganun po.
Malaki pala yung family niyo. Hindi mo lang kilala. Nikolo, ikaw?
Oops, sorry. Tagal. Anyways, question ulit. Was it, yes, the
PETA
PETA
that made you discover something about yourself.
Same answer with Master Cleon. It actually, I realized it na right after mag-start na yung whole new normal. I realized na I can do digital stuff kasi I was really prone into making something more physical, like drawings nga, sketches. But right now, since we're surrounded by mostly technology na, and then I just suggested that I should just make use with its uses. Tapos I noticed na I can pretty much edit, pero it really does take time for me to get the hang of it. Kasi unang-una hindi ako techie. I really prefer doing things with my hands. Different naman just editing and drawing. So yeah, feeling ko
Alright.
with the past new changes. Yun.
So tanungin din natin yung pinaka-kuya dito, Julio.
Yes, sir. Actually, meron po recent lang. Kasi we had a PETA for UCSP where we had to tell some kind of story and background on a particular culture. And I talked about Siargao, if I can remember. If I can remember correctly. Tapos dun kasi, sobrang gusto ko kasi maging creative, pero yun nga, hindi rin ako masyado techie sa visual. So, I made, nag-parody ako ng rap song na Gangsta's Paradise. Pinarody ko yung kanta ngayon. Iniba ko yung lyrics ganyan. Tapos na-realize ko na kahit pa paano marunong naman pala ako magsulat. So, after nun, kung ano-ano po yung in-explore ko, like gumagawa ng mga musical na beats, gano'n, tapos nagsusulat na din. Pero for fun lang. Tapos nakakatawa lang kasi parang yun din yung basically nag-segue sa akin dun sa path na yun.
Nice. So, new skill.
Yes, sir.
Skill unlocked. Ikaw, Sean.
Sa akin, sir, nothing in particular, pero na-realize ko na kaya ko mag-multitask. Yun lang.
Dahil nga sobrang busy mo, no?
Opo.
Ayun. So, that's good, no? That's good to hear na you guys here, and I'm sure most of our viewers would feel the same way, na siguro some of our PETAs introduced us to new skills, introduced us to new learnings, new to technology per se. Yan. Kasi siguro speaking as a counselor, I've experienced then, or I've encountered students na because of a certain PETA, the student realized that he can make a career out of it. Na pwede pala niyang gawing full-time yun. So yun yung naging program niya sa college. Until now, yun na yung ginawa niya. All because of an AP PETA when he was in grade 10. Parang na-realize niya, parang gusto ko tong gawin for life. So ayan, naging career niya na yun. So wag natin sabi ko nga kanina, aside from the technical skills, marami pa tayong ibang natututunan dun sa mga PETA na pinapagawa ng mga teachers natin. Ayan, so eto na. Alam ko, most of you guys are eager to hear this part of the discussion. Okay, I've been hearing this a lot. As a counselor nga of senior high school, I've been hearing this term a lot. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm hearing, or I keep hearing that PETA week, usually a week or two before the exam, is considered hell week. Bakit kaya? Why do you guys consider PETA week as hell week?
Sir, I think meron akong opinion dyan. I think very figurative siya in nature. Kasi like, when you think of hell, you think of suffering, ganyan, diba? Tapos, like, actually, many students see, like, these PETA's requirements, ganyan, pag kailangan ko, parang, hirap, ganyan. So, in a way, meron siyang suffering. So, I guess, dun na rin napunta yun, na parang, hell week kasi parang ang daming kailangan gawin, nakakapagod, ganyan. And it should last for a week. Hell week. Yeah.
How about the others? Renz, do you have any other take on the question?
Sa tingin ko po, diyan naglalabasan yung kasi when you think of hell, masama, di ba? So, diyan naglalabasan yung sense of procrastination, na na kakapagod na, maganan muna tayo. Mamaya muna, wait, maganan muna ako. One round of ML muna ako, tapos sige, yun na. Ay, naglalabasan yung ganung mga values minsan mo, mga ganung habits.
So, tawagin natin si Cleon. Cleon, hindi sa tinatakot ka nila, ha? Hindi para to scare you about the culture and then the PETA making. But have you experienced that kind of difficulty na wherein there is a certain week prior the exams week na you think is heavy in terms of workload?
In PETA po, personally, hindi po ako nahihirapan because I make or work on the PETA as early as I can. But yung medyo nahihirapan po ako is the exams. Yung po, sa exams po, because a week before exams, every day mag-aaral po, then I get very tired and then repeat na naman for that day and then again. So doon po ako nahihirapan sa exams po.
Okay. So, yun nga siguro, no? Kasi dahil sabi nga ni Renz kanina, Procrastination Week, ito yung parang nagiging, how do I say this? The fruit of procrastinating during the start of the quarter, the start of, or for the moment na sinabi yung PETA siguro, some students would tend to procrastinate. And then, eto na, pag due date, dun palang nagiging due date. So, nagpa-pile up. Diba? And you guys get overwhelmed with all the stuff, and you need to prepare also for the upcoming exam. So parang nadodoble yung effort. Nadodoble yung kailangan paghandaan. Now, which leads me to the next question. What are your tips for Lourdesians on how we can make Hell Week a not so Hell Week? How can we prepare for this? How can we be more proactive para, syempre sa mga Lourdesians na nanonood dyan, para ma-prevent na mag-pile up yung mga tasks, para hindi mahirapan pare-parehas, para mas maging advanced in terms of outputs? What can you guys say to your brother Lourdesians? Sean, you were raising your hand.
Yes, sir. To start off, hindi naman po natin talaga to may iwasan, but as much as possible, parang do not practice is procrastination. Ayun, do not procrastinate kasi once you start doing it, it will become a habit, and once it becomes a habit, it will be hard for it to to be removed sa'yo.
Okay, so magandang tip yan, no? So wag i-practice para hindi maging habit, simply put. Tama ba, Sean? Did I get that correctly?
Yeah.
All right, how about the others?
Ako, sir, naniniwala po kasi ako sa kasabihang do tomorrow, do tomorrow. De, joke, sir. Joke lang, sir. Joke lang. Actually, sir, po kasi, yung kabaliktaran talaga dapat. Napansin ko actually sa conversation na to, yung pinaka-model si Master Cleon Gabriel Josana.
Parang mapapasana all.
Parang sobrang yung prinsipyo na pagdating sa academics And I hope na ma-keep up mo rin yan like as you grow through high school. Pero yun nga, yung sinabi na mabilis at saka maaga palang ginagawa na. I think it's really effective din. Kasi if you do it part by part, it's not gonna feel na parang ang bigat na pa rin pagdating ng Hell Week Hindi mo maaari. So I think yun yung isa sa mga good tip or talagang essential para mas mapadali mo yung mga work mo pagdating ng week na yun.
That's right. Very insightful coming from the kuya here. How about the others? Nikolo?
Finally, my time. Anyways, yun nga, feeling ko there's one major factor rin talaga that we need to consider, especially when you're at the higher grades na. And it is time management. Instead of practicing yun nga, procrastination, we should practice more on time management. We should learn how to allocate our time to our priorities. Alamin natin talaga kung ano yung kailangan natin gawin before we end the day. We should always, kaya sabi ko, allocate your time on, let's not forget na rin dun yung breaks natin kasi we can't just, like what they're saying, do things early, rush things early, grind things early. It loses the meaning of, nawawala yung meaning ng, sabihin na lang nating good output. Nawawala siya nag-deteriorate kasi, yun nga, you're just finishing the PETA or the output for the sake of finishing it. And like what I said nga, let's just take a break sometime. Tapos if we feel like doing it, we should do it na agad. That's, time management.
Thank you. Nikolo, magandang magandang input coming from you.
Excuse me. Bro.
Sir, pagdating kasi sa sinasabing Hell Week, aside from patong-patong na, another thing is yung nakakawala rin minsan ng gana na po kasi patong-patong na ayaw mo na pong isipin. So I think dalawa dapat yan. First is yung technical na projects. Ones where you don't alam mo na yung step by step process, tapos it just takes I guess time, mental strain. Yun, do it as early as you can. Tapos meron yung second type, which is yung may halong element na ng creativity. Yun po. Now, when you're doing projects, kasi minsan it will feel like a job, no? Ganong pressure minsan ang napupunta sa iyo. So for it to not feel like that, start. You don't need to do it immediately. But you need to start. You need to start thinking about anong magiging kalabasan nito, paano ko gustong maging ito, para nandun na po yung as time goes on, yung mind mo makakaisip ka na sa mga free time mo ng gusto ko ganito. Ganun po. So mawawala na po yung number one, yung the time you need to think, maka-cut off yun. And number two, kasama na po dun yung magiging good output. Yung sinasabi po ni Nico kanina.
Alright. Good suggestion. No? Maganda yung insight din ni Renz as far as what you need to consider in preparing for the PETAs. You begin with the end in mind. Diba? Alamin na natin kung ano yung output na gusto natin para we can prepare for it. Tsaka siguro let me share din a bit of trivia. May trivia ako last week. Mag-trivia din ako ngayon. Did you guys know that psychologically speaking, I've just read this recently, na most often than not, yung procrastination is not due to laziness. Procrastination is not due to laziness, but it is due to the avoidance of negative feelings, unwanted feelings. Halimbawa, you're not confident with the PETA, hindi mo alam ang gagawin, you tend to procrastinate kasi ayaw mong ma-feel yun. O kaya, because of this PETA, you have to deal with this specific member that is very difficult to deal with. So, para you don't need to deal with that, you procrastinate. O kaya, you feel that the skill required for the PETA is not your strength. Hindi ka marunong gumawa nun, hindi yun part ng skill set mo, you tend to avoid. Diba? Kasi kapag confident ka naman sa gagawin, alam mo yung pag alam mo na yung gagawin, usually you can start agad eh. Pero you tend to procrastinate because there are feelings, negative feelings that you avoid. So in order to avoid procrastination, isipin natin, ano ba yung feeling na gusto kong i-avoid? Para yun ang i-address natin. If you avoid the unnecessary, if you're weak in that skill set for the specific PETA, you prepare for it. You learn in advance, so you get to know how to do it. Or, if you have to deal with this specific person for the PETA, then siya muna yung i-address natin para pagka kailangan ng gumawa ng PETA, we can address that already. So I hope that added a little bit of insight to why people then, or why students generally and people procrastinate. Yes, Nikolo.
I would like to top it off lang with a quote. Acknowledge and face your weaknesses, but don't be immobilized by them. So yun nga sabi ni Sir kanina, na you know that alam mo yung weaknesses mo, but it can't be the hurdle that could stop you from doing what you want. So yun na. I just want to top it off kasi astig pakinggan.
Okay, mukhang saan mo nakuha yun? Bilis
Somewhere around the table. Promise, hindi ko pinagandaan yun.
Yan. So, lastly, before we end, I would like to ask you guys, especially our guests for tonight, what is your message naman for Lourdesians in order to continue producing excellent PETAs? PETAs in utmost excellence in all aspects. Kumbaga both for the skill required, for the competency required, for the technical aspect na din. Yan. So, what advice or message can you give to our Lourdesian viewers on how we can address this concern about PETA para continuously, because sabi nga natin, Lourdesians are men of excellence and character, and in this case, how can we maintain utmost excellence? Yes, Renz.
Unahin ko na, well, personally, I got this recently, and in fact, I got it from tawagin na natin, it's a game, and natutunan ko na dun sa mga gagawin mo, don't think na pabigat siya, di ba, pinag-usapan natin kanina, don't think that it's a job kahit kung minsan napapaisip ka na ganun. Instead, iisipin mo na you are creating something, not doing something. And when you're creating something, gusto mo talagang may may personal vision ka na, may ideal ka na doon. And then when you create that, once you will have some urgency na kailangan mong galingan kasi you're creating it. And so pagkatapos ng project na yon, iisipin mo, yes, that I created this, so I'm proud of it. So
that's nice. Kasi if I may share then, creating is parang nasa dulo na yan ng Bloom's taxonomy of knowledge. That means na when you're able to create something, when you're able to evaluate, when you are able to apply the knowledge, which is the objective of PETAs, that means you get to exercise the subject, the lesson that was taught to you in class. So it does not just stop. It doesn't just end with memorizing, with remembering. You get to apply. You get to create. So while we're talking about the tips, siguro, Julio, you can encourage our viewers from the comment section to ask questions. Baka meron sila naman yung may tanong sa mga guests natin.
Actually, this is called open mic for a reason, diba? We want to give a voice to everyone who's not only participating in the actual podcast, but also in the comment section and in the public sort of environment for this podcast. So if you guys have some questions, we're willing naman na mag-answer and to entertain these questions. You can just write them dyan sa comment section sa live. Thank you.
Ayan, so Sean, please, since nagbabasa ka na rin lang ng comments dyan, i-check mo na if we have questions. And I know may mga teachers din tayong nanonood. Kung meron din silang questions na gustong i-address or i-inquire sa mga guests natin tonight, you may simply comment the questions down below. Yeah. So how about you, Cleon, going back? What can be your message to your fellow Lourdesians in order to maintain utmost excellence in terms of PETA output?
What can I say about this is that don't focus on the future or what is the result. Focus on what is happening right now. Focus on what you're working with. Focus on the PETA. If you're working on it, make it excellent and also be meaningful. And also, as you guys said before, avoid procrastination and prioritize in doing the PETA. To end my answer, I would like to quote one of the YouTubers I watched. And here it is. Life teaches us that no matter how ridiculous the odds may seem, Within us resides the power to overcome these challenges and achieve something beautiful. And one day, we will look back at what we started and be amazed at how far we've come.
Wow. Words of wisdom from Cleon. Very nice. Yan, parang na-inspire siguro si Cleon kasi may quote si Nikolo eh. Naghanap din ng quote si Cleon. Pero nakakatuwa, very insightful. Ayan, and very applicable yung quote that Cleon has shared with us. For Renz, kanya pwedeng you begin with results in mind. For Cleon, you focus on the now. Tulad nga ng sabi ko sa previous episode, kung hindi nyo pa napapanood, you can go back to that. Nasa loop page lang yan. Balikan natin yung previous video. Find what works for you. Na in the end, your objective is, of course, not to cram, not to procrastinate, but to come up with excellent petas. Yes, Nikolo, ikaw, what can you say? What can be your message to Lourdesians in order to maintain utmost outputs?
Please
Excellence in
sir.
output.
I'm still finding a quote, pero I'll just go with the flow.
Quote
So, para I can top the game, Anyways, gusto ko lang sana i-suggest to everyone, we should always think way out of the box. We shouldn't rely on the norms. Let's try to test our limits. Let's try what we haven't done before and try to explore the things we haven't done. So that being said, let's try to resonate with the things around us rin. Kagaya na situation with the pandemic. We've been mentioning this a while back pa kanina pa, na we made use of what's around us, and dahil nga pandemic, it's the most perfect time for us to make use of what hindi natin nagagawa dati. Kagaya ng experience ko na hindi ako tech savvy, and I made use of it and nakita ko, wow, may mga potential pala ako pwedeng mailabas with my past skills and with the skills I've just learned. So with that being said nga, huwag kayo let's just wag na kayong kontento sa kung anong meron kayo ngayon. Just keep finding something new. That's all.
Keep finding something new. Because siguro that way, you develop your creativity, you develop your insight sa mga bagay-bagay. Yes, Sean? Parang may gusto kong i-contribute.
Sir, kanina pa po naghihintay actually. So,
wow. Sorry naman.
Sir, meron na pong mga questions on nakikita dito sa comment section.
Mm-hmm.
So yung questions dito actually parang specific questions siya for each person dito. So one here is from Master Nikos Alcala for Master Julio Padilla. What is the hardest PETA that you have done in your life?
Hardest PETA?
Hardest PETA? If you're talking about the difficulty ng PETA, to be honest, hindi ako sure kung ano isasagot doon. Pero if yung hardest is how hard I worked on a PETA, I think, when it comes to PETA, especially when it's inclined to arts, nagbibigay talaga ako ng effort pag alam kong kaya ko pa lagyan. Pero pag yung hindi ko siya masyado interest, there are times na syempre medyo nakawalan din ako ng gana. But especially when it's like related to speaking, music, and then I go hard para dun sa mga sa mga PETA na yan.
Yun, nasagot yung question ni Nico. Sige, Sean,
Sir,
proceed.
Sir, si Master Barcelino may tanong siya para sa'yo.
Ano yun?
Kailan raw po deadlines ng PETAs?
Magandang tanong yan, no? So, shout out sa mga estudyante ko, grade 11 Honorat and grade 11 Jose Maria. PETA 1, deadline ay next Thursday. PETA 2, deadline ay December. Kailan nga, Nikolo? 7?
10.
7. Don't push it.
Alam mo pala, sir. Alam mo pala.
Definitely not 10. 7. December 7.
Sir, ito naman.
Put that on record.
Medyo, may rin dito si Rev. He has a question. Based on your experience and interaction with your brothers, how can you avoid procrastinating?
Ayan, sino gustong sumagot? How can you avoid? How? Paano?
Ako, sir, I think I have an answer.
Go.
Ano kasi yun eh, it depends with, let's just say, kunwari, if you're trying to seeing this in a group output perspective, ano siya eh, we can just try to align or sabihin na natin once, yung alam yung gusto niyo yung parehas na bagay. And with that being said, pwede kayo magkaroon ng chemistry, tapos it will build up kanina pa gusto sabihin word na yun, hindi ko masabi. Pero para siyang nagkakaroon kayo ng yun nga, like what I said, chemistry, tapos naging tuloy-tuloy na yun. And then, yes, that's my answer. So, minsan talaga it's a rare case eh, kasi you can only find this with people na has connection nga sa class. Pero with that being said, mahirap to, in my case mahirap to pag towards strangers. And mas lalo na kapag kilala mo yung tao, tapos yun pala yung tao na yung freeloader rin. So, yun lang. That's
Sir, meron na pong pahabol na tanong dito. From Master Lardo. Ano yung usually na ginagawa nyo para di ma-board habang gumagawa ng PETA?
Okay, sige, yan ang next question natin. Pero focus muna tayo dun sa pagpo-procrastinate. Baka meron pang gustong idagdag si Renz at si Cleon. How to avoid procrastinating? Baka si Julio, merong suggestion. Like specific methods, specific actions.
Also, to avoid procrastination, hindi sa ginagawa ko po siya kaagad, Sarah. Pero I try to do my research na rin kaagad on what we have to do. Para at least pagka medyo lumalapit na yung time na kailangan gawin, may idea na ako kung paano. And sometimes pwede rin gumawa ng mga to-do list, ganun. Kasi nakaka-satisfy mag-check off sa to-do list eh. Lalo na pag natapos mo na. So yun din po.
Nice. So,
Sir, ako meron po ako.
Sige, ikaw na.
Sir, I make a calendar. So parang ginagawa ko po isa-isa yung activities based po dun sa tawag niyan. Nakalagay na activity for that specific day.
So yun yung style mo, may calendar. How about you, Cleon?
The thing I do for avoiding procrastination is making a timetable. I write the petas that should be done and their due dates so that I know what peta I'm working on within the week or even within the day, and so that I could submit it on time, neither on or before the due date.
Alright, so yan, timeline naman sa kanya. Renz, ikaw?
For me, actually, I do the same thing na sinuggest ni Sean. I have a calendar, Google Keep calendar para nasa email lang, so convenient po. Pwede ako sa laptop, tapos pwede ako sa cellphone habang nakahiga. So, so I have that list. And before I've tried calendar, pero hindi siya nag-pop out sa akin kasi kahit nakalagay doon, gagawin ko ba by then? I think mas gusto ko pong yung spontaneous. So, yun. Depende sa style, sa trip na method pang ganun.
Ayan. So may kanya-kanyang style, may kanya-kanyang methods on how to avoid procrastinating. Siguro meron din akong sarili kong suggestions kasi sa akin din, to avoid procrastinating, break tasks into smaller chunks. Halimbawa, sa grade 12, may research. Chapters 1 to 3 na due this date. Tapos pinigay naman siya ahead of time. Okay, kailangan this week matapos chapter 1. Week 2, kailangan matapos chapter 2. week 3, kailangan matapos chapter 3. Tapos editing na lang nung sa mga bandang dulo or preparation for defense. Kaysa sa gagawin yung chapter 1, 2, 3 on week 3. Kumbaga, naka-break your task into smaller chunks. Siguro parang related dito sa sinabi ni Julio kanina na siguro prepare mo na kung ano yung mga dapat ihanda. I mean, yung mga dapat gagamitin mo for the tasks that you need to accomplish. May kailangan bang i-research? May kailangan bang pagplanuhan? Gumawa ng outline kung kailangan para hindi right then and there ka gagawa. So para hindi ka rin overwhelmed. And minsan may kanya-kanyang style din tayo. Inuuna ba natin yung pinakamahirap or yung pinakamadali? Kayo?
For me,
Which do
pinakamadali.
you do first? Bakit?
Pinakamadali na po siya, sir. So, ibig sabihin nun, parang konting part na lang po siya ng problema sa buhay mo. So, why not release mo na agad? Pakawalan mo na siya.
Problema
agad.
sa buhay mo.
So, ayun.
Ayun, siguro related din yun sa sinabi mo kanina na si Julio yata yung nagsabi ng to-do list, yung gumagawa ng to-do list, na it is indeed satisfying and it gives you a sense of achievement. Diba? When you've crossed off your tasks one by one. So parang feeling mo may nang-accomplish ka. Kaysa yung iba kasi pag nakita pa lang ang dami pang gagawin, wala pa akong nako-cross out, mas lalo kang nahihirapan mag-move forward. Mas lalo kang nahihirapan progress. Diba? So how about Cleon, ikaw, ano inuuna mo? Mahirap yung madali?
For me, I don't base it on how hard the PETA is. I usually do kung mas malapit po yung due date or deadline. Yun po yung gagawin po.
Based
Pero
on
kapag
urgency.
yes po. But if the due date is medyo hindi po gaanong how do I say this? Kapag hindi po within the week, inuuna ko po yung mas madali po para matapos ko na po. Then, focus ko na po yung mga much harder.
Yan. Tapos, since yung mga mahirap, yun nga, i-breakdown natin into smaller chunks. Yan. Para mas may progress. Slow progress. Baby steps. Kaysa sa isang bagsak, tatapusin lahat. Nag-agree ka ba, Nikolo? Or may disagree ka ba?
Actually, sir. Kasi, in my case, it's really different. Ayoko talaga na parang I'm leaving stuff behind. Like, hindi ko pa tapos. So, yung ginagawa ko talaga, sir, is, same with you guys. I start with the easiest ones. Kasi, I'm like, continuous worker. Ayoko talagang mag-leave behind ng progress. Tsaka if I'm going to start with the hardest one, feeling ko mag-burn out lang ako. So I save it. Like, yeah, I can't really speak for myself kasi mas gusto ko talagang tinatapos ko siya a week before kasi alam ko, kakram ako, may adrenaline, and then I can, speak out with my mind. Tapos, yeah, I can do the best of outputs in that status. So, stop laughing. So yun yung insight ko with that stuff.
Okay, siguro I can attest to that kasi napanood ko na yung PETA nyo.
Oh no.
So, sige, segue lang. Panonoorin na lang natin siguro with a special screening.
Yeah.
Well done.
Astige ba? I know, right?
Tapos siguro, with everyone, to avoid procrastinating, establish a workflow. Establish a workflow. What works for you? Since syempre may RTC in the morning and then FTCs in the afternoon, establish your groove. Ano yung kailan ka mas productive? Yan. Kasi yun ay magiging habit. Yun yung gawing habit, hindi yung pagpo-procrastinate. Make productivity your habit. Establish your workflow. And also, are you guys familiar with the Pomodoro technique? Or is it the first time that you're hearing this now?
Sir, parang narinig ko po siya kanina.
Yung pizza, sir?
Yeah, it was named after that. pero it's a technique for productivity. The Pomodoro technique kasi 'di ba, ang thinking natin, ang biggest motivation for any task is the deadline. Tama? The biggest motivation for any task is the deadline. So, with that, you parang set a timer. Halimbawa, 20 minutes for productivity. So, for 20 minutes, ito yung dapat mong tapusin. You focus on a task for 20 minutes. So, your deadline there is the 20-minute deadline. Yun lang muna. Yung walang tigil na trabaho for 20 minutes. And then, mag-break ka ng 5 to 10 minutes. So, actually, sa phone ko, meron yun. Tapos, dun sa 20 minutes na yun, wala siyang ibang mabubuksang app. So, kahit ma-distract ako, kung hindi pa nag-off yung timer, wala akong mabubuksang iba unless i-off ko yung app. So, I tend to become more focused on the task. And then, continue na. It's just a cycle. Kasi, if ang mindset natin ay kailangan matapos ako in 20 minutes or matapos ko hanggang sa part na to in 20 minutes, that's your motivation already. That is already your immediate deadline. So yun naman ay style lang din. So it's up to you what works for you. It's up to you to choose which one works for you, and then that's the one that you make a habit instead of procrastinating. Yan. Para siguro time will come, mawala na yung clutch culture. Aware naman kayo sa clutch culture. Yes, Nikolo. Maangan. Ayan. So, para ma-avoid na natin yan. Time will come, eventually, ma-avoid na natin. Hindi daw alam ni Renz. Sean, paki-define ano ang clutch culture?
Sir, based na naman po siya sa context, po sa pagkakaintindi ko.
Ay, maangan ka din?
yung clutch culture po, parang tawag yan, gagawin ko yung certain activity na to parang 30 minutes before the deadline. Ganun po ba yan?
Grabe naman yung 30 minutes. Ibang level naman ng clutch yun.
Shoutout sa mga classmates ko dyan.
So, Julio, ano ba ang clutch culture?
Sir, actually, hindi ako... Alam ko na pong clutch sa basketball po, sir. Yung last minute na kailangan maayos yung performance. Pero yung actual clutch culture, hindi po masyado familiar, sir.
Ayun,
So,
sir. Ayun, sir.
Ano?
Gagawin mo siya kung kailan sobrang dikit na yung oras.
Yan. So, parang same lang din sa basketball. Last minute, buzzer beater. Yan. Due date. Yan, yung mga ganun. So, yung mga Lourdesians, graced under pressure. Kaya, parang siguro time will come, unti-unti. Hopefully, after this podcast, medyo matry out na natin yung iba-ibang mga methods on how we can address procrastination. Ayan. So, once again, we would like to thank our guests. Meron ba kayong mga final messages, shout out sa ating mga viewers? Cleon?
Once again, I shout out to my section, grade 7, St. Francis Mary of Camparosa, and as well as my friends and also my teachers.
Meron ka bang gustong i-mention ng mga group mates? May message ka ba para sa kanila sa mga PETA nyo ngayong quarter na to?
Sige po. Shout out po kay Jingo, Kiel Berleo, Wax Rillion, who else?
I-remind mo ba sila sa mga dapat nilang i-submit?
Yeah. And to my mom also, Teacher Cathy Josana.
Yeah, tapusin mo na daw yung experiment video niya. How about you, Renz? What's your message for our Lourdesian viewers and shout-outs to your group mates?
Clutch may clutch may clutch na shout-out. Number 1 si Kuya Alfonso Dagudag, kasama ko dati. And isa pang nagpapaano sa chat comment, si ano po, ang kaibigan ko pong si Ethan Patani. Ayun, so sana for the rest of the night, sana may enjoy yung night, have a good rest para laban na naman this coming week.
Yes.
Lalo na pa-extend, diba? May pa-extend ng mga ano, diba?
Yes.
Ito yung exams.
Laban. Nikolo.
Yo. Okay, so I would like to shout out my mother, Vishni Torres, to my sister, Joy Torres.
She's watching right now?
She is watching right now, and my whole family, which is, yun nga, binabombard nila ako with criticism to what I've been doing wrong, kanina pa daw. And to my kuya, Ronnie Torres, kasambahay namin, kaya Agnes, Manang Abiliar, and yun lang. And the rest, to my creative rival, William Cunanan, as well as Michelangelo
creative
Lardo.
rival.
Yeah, that dude's cool. Medyo nagko-compete rin kami when it comes to amazing ideas. So, with that being said, yun lang, guys. One last quote from me. Meron akong quote. This quote
is... nagpatalo.
Ako pa, sir. So, this quote came from Ralph Waldo Emerson, a great psychologist dude. He wrote this essay. Yeah, author siya ng isang essay yata. I read one of his essays.
Marami siyang essays.
I like the self-reliance. Nakuha ko yung quote dun actually. Our strength grows out of our weaknesses, and we should learn how to acknowledge it. And by time, we'll learn how to utilize it to its fullest potential. So, yun lang, guys. This is Nikolo Torres here, your guest.
So, sana ma-invite ka namin ulit, Nikolo, no?
In the future. If ever yung guest nyo ulit nawala or something. Actually, di ba hindi ako dapat guest nyo ngayon, sir?
And we make do.
Wow!
Kidding. Pero thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Nikolo, syempre, Cleon, and Renz for taking this time on a Saturday night to be with us, to be with our viewers, the LSM community, in sharing your insights, sharing your experiences. This has been very helpful to shed some light on matters pertaining to PETA in general. So thank you so much. And sabi nga ni Renz kanina, tuloy ang laban. Alright, so Julio, may mga gusto ba kayong sabihin, Sean, sa ating mga members?
Ako sir, may shoutout lang din po sana ako. Shoutout ko po muna yung friends ko po, sila Nikos po, Donnie, Andre, Joshua, Joseph, all of them, Sir Steven. At gusto ko rin po sana i-shoutout yung kaibigan ko po sa Jordan, sir. Sa Jordan. Doon po yata siya sa Dead Sea ngayon, kay Ate Rona po. Shoutout po kay Ate Rona.
Sean, ikaw. All the way from Davao.
Represent. Sir, since nagbigay ng quote si Master kanina. Syempre magbibigay rin ako, sir, diba? Highly requested. This quote is about education lang naman. So, from Mahatma Gandhi, live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Ayan.
Very nice. And if I remember that quote was shared to us by Miss Arpia last week on our first episode. Yeah, nandun yan sa comment section. Yun yung insight niya about our topic last week na tungkol sa examinations. So speaking of, since marami nga tayong teachers na nanonood, our administrators are watching, they also have some suggestions din on topics, or they're reaching out. So sa mga viewers natin na meron ding mga suggestions, you can comment down below, or you can send a message to any of our loopers or SG officers so that we can prepare for the upcoming episodes. Ayan. So ano bang natutunan natin ngayon, Sean and Julio?
Sige, ikaw muna.
Actually, sir, madami-dami. From the origin of the words Hell Week to like how to deal with procrastination, and to kung gaano natutunan ko rin kung gaano ka-model student yung isa nating guest sir na si Cleon Gabriel Josana. Sana talaga like ma-keep up mo yan throughout your whole high school life kasi makakatulong talaga sa'yo.
How about you, Sean? Anong mga takeaway mo from our episode tonight?
Sir, I learned to never procrastinate again. Kahit hindi ko po mapapromise na hindi ko nagagawin 'yan, but I will try my best. And also lastly, wala na palang lastly. Yun na lang po pala.
Lastly, tuloy mo na.
Okay lang po. Wala na po maisip po eh.
Malabitin. O sige, since tinanong natin kanina yung mga guests natin, any final messages for our Lourdesian viewers din as far as the ongoing PETA week is concerned? Anong message nyo for them?
Sir, ako muna please. Okay, good.
Tapos ka na eh.
No, wait, sir. I just want to shout out my tita kasi nagtatampo po. Hindi ko daw siya
sige.
out. Okay. To Tita Nympha, thank you for watching and supporting me. Tsaka, di ba may gusto mo kasabi sa amin, right?
Okay na ba? Tapos na eh.
Okay.
O sige. Okay, go.
So, guys, last message lang from me. Laban lang, like what Sir Mike said earlier. And let's just think na malapit na tayong palabas sa quarantine, and Christmas break is coming, and the only thing we have in mind na lang na probably is hindering us right now is our exams. So with that being said, laban lang. Kaya natin to.
Thank you, Nikolo. Sean,
Sir,
last, ikaw naman na talaga yung next.
Ganun po ba? Hindi po, meron na po kasing umiiyak dito sa comment section.
Sige.
Shout out raw, Nikolo. Nagpapa-shout out si Master Ryan Bebe Santos.
Sorry, baby. Okay, shout out na. Love you.
Go,
Sir,
Sean.
sorry na, sir.
Ano nang message mo sa Sean to our Lourdesian viewers, to the community?
Keep grinding.
Words of wisdom, Quotable quote.
Syempre, sa schoolworks and sa pag-aaral, di ba? Not only sa games, hindi lang kayo magpa-rank up sa games, but also, mag-aral rin kayo ng mabuti. Kasi, nagsasakripisyo yung parents nyo para sa inyo. Ayan, yun lang naman.
How about you, Julio?
Sir.
Message for our viewers as far as PETA Week is concerned?
Sa PETA Week, kaya na talaga yan. Para sa akin, it's all about the mindset and how you approach this work. Yung work na makukuha nyo. Just try to keep focused, and also, wag kayo masyado mag-overthink when it comes to TCU. Kailangan na rin maging masaya, syempre. So, just don't overthink it and gawin mo lang pag may time ka. Yan naman siya.
Alright. And of course, always maintain excellence and character. Doon na sa character, alam na natin yan. Maintain our integrity in doing our petas, yung mga temptations ng plagiarism, temptations ng freeloading. As much as possible, we address and we prevent that from happening so that we can live up to our expectations. We live up to our philosophy of becoming like Christ and maintaining excellence and character. So as we end this, let's hear from Sean. What's in store for the student government in the upcoming weeks, upcoming days? What can we expect?
Ayan, sir. So we have the esports tournament and the Tulay Lingap, and also the online Caroling. Yeah.
How about for the loop? LSM.
For the loop, we have first the photo exhibit. Magpapakitang gilas yung mga photographers natin sa loop, and the writers as well kasi sila yung magbibigay yung more on captions. And the second is there will probably be a Lourdesian tools video coming up next week. Same day siguro ng for this week, which was posted ng 19. So heads up for that.
Yan. So, and sabi ko nga kanina, ang SG at ang Loop ay magiging busy pa rin habang gumagawa ng PETA, habang nagpe-prepare sa exams in service of the Lourdesian community. So I'm sure the community is excited for that. Marami tayong hinanda para sa kanila, not just the future episodes of Open Mic, so which please keep supporting. Yan, keep watching, keep sharing, keep engaging. And sana mas maging meaningful din, mas dumami pa yung ating reach so that we can inspire, we can motivate, and we can inform more Lourdesians. All right, Sean?
Ayan, sir, while we're at it, no, I'm encouraging everyone to like the page of Lourdes Loop and also our page, Student Government of Lourdes. Ayan, yun lang naman po.
Yan, Julio?
For that, sa pag, yung mag-ano na lang kayo guys, tag us sa stories nyo and everything, commenting kayo dito and share the live stream. Baka may mga gustong manood pa rin kahit di na live. I believe na interesting din naman yung mga napag-usapan namin dito.
All right, thank you so much for everyone's support. And I hope you guys enjoyed our episode for tonight. Thank you for sharing your time with us again on a Saturday night. Keep viewing, keep sharing, keep engaging.